Hello, hello. There we go. There we go. We're live. So, I'm gonna do some react videos, guys. These videos I'm very passionate about, and feel free to disagree with me if you want in the comments. Let's just keep it civil and respectful. That's all I ask. So let's go ahead and get started.
Now they saying people not finna get their food stamps starting November 1st because y'all got a crackhead in office.
Welcome to the channel, fellas, where we serve reality straight, no sugarcoating. So here it is. Women are panicking.
Also, channel men only. Shout out to the channel. I'm gonna leave a link to their channel in the description if you want to watch more of their content. Don't really care for the AI stuff, but good messages, good content. So let's keep going.
As the EBT food stamp shutdown hits right before Thanksgiving and Christmas. Yep, the holidays are around the corner, but the government just said, you're on your own this season. The same folks who treated benefits like a lifestyle are now realizing it was never guaranteed.
Yeah, benefits should never be used as a lifestyle. That's taxpayer money. You know, that's supposed to be there if you need a helping hand or you need temporary help. Temporary, not permanent. I do it for sure.
And suddenly, independent woman doesn't sound as fun when the fridge is empty. Stick around, because we're unpacking how this shutdown happened and what it really means for the system. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because this truth hits harder than an empty pantry. Y'all are...
Okay, so yes, November's benefits, people are getting alerts saying that if the government shutdown continues, that there may be insufficient funds for the month of November. However, food stamps are a mandatory program.
No, they're not. What state is food stamps mandatory?
Citizens.
See, if you're going to say this, you need to provide some sort of examples. This is your problem, lady.
Participants are legally entitled to these funds.
You are not entitled to taxpayer funds.
So in the past, if something like this happens and has happened, they take extreme measures to make...
Oh, here we go. Like in 2013, 2018, SNAP benefits were paid often through emergency managed short-term funding shifts or contingency plans of the USDA scramble. Yes, okay, that may be, but that's under a different president. So this current president is saying this, and this is what I know, right? Do your own research, think for yourself. Don't take my word for it. Do your research. Form your own opinions. That's the only way you're going to see through the bullshit that society likes to feed you. But as far as I'm aware, the current administration has said this: people who are able to work and are not working at least 15 hours a week, which is hardly anything, will not get benefits. And I do agree with that. If you can work, you should be working. And 15 hours a week is not that much. I mean, all you have to do is go get a part-time job at a convenience store, at a fast food place. You could work for 20 hours a week, and then you could prove to the government and to the taxpayer, because it's not even the government, it's the taxpayers. Taxpayers want to see that you're actually trying to do something with your life. Not just sitting on benefits, mooching off other people. It's not right that you get to collect free food while everyone else who's working is struggling. That's not what SNAP is about. SNAP is about helping people who have low income that are struggling to feed their families. It has never been about supporting women lifestyle or men. I'm not sexist here. I will call out both. But we generally see women doing this. That's why. And if you're a woman and you're not doing this, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking about the women that sit on SNAP with no plan, nothing planned. They're just going, well, I mean, I'll just stay married to the government and I'll get food stamps and I won't work, because why should I work when I'm getting all my needs taken care of, right? That's what they're thinking.
Make sure that the recipients are receiving this funding, because it is life securing and saving funding. This goes out to disabled people who are unable to leave their homes. This is not...
Okay, we're not talking about people who are disabled and not able to work. Even the current administration says that if you can prove you cannot work, you don't need to work. This is the problem with people doing this, is they spin the actual truth to fit their narrative. So now she's going, oh, they're forcing people to work who can't work. That's not true. They've said this multiple times. If you are disabled and you cannot work, you will get the benefits. You do not need to prove. If you are able-bodied, meaning you have two legs and you can walk and you can move and you can do things, you need to work. That is what they are saying. So what you're doing right now, ma'am, is lying.
Something that they would take lightly. It would be very serious. It would cause major grocery store shutdowns because of
Unless, of course, let me add this real quick. Unless, of course, to be unbiased and fair, they just make the people work who actually prove that they can't work. But until I see that happening, I'm not going to say that that's what the government is doing, because the government is supposed to be representing the people who are paying into this program. But we all know the government doesn't do that. They take from SNAP and fund other things and are corrupt. So it's good that, like, an administration is actually prioritizing what the people want, the people who actually pay for this, the people who fund your lifestyle, miss.
Are gearing up every month, the beginning of the month, for all of these millions of dollars of EBT and food stamps to be coming through. There would be so much chaos coming from this. They would not allow it, regardless of what you think about Trump. It's not going to happen. Do not let fear set in. Trust in our Lord and know that everything is going to be okay. I'm just trying to make sure you guys know how important this is to the government.
Not getting food stamps if the government is still shut down. I don't know who needs to hear this, but food stamps are not some kind of mandatory, guaranteed lifetime meal plan.
Exactly, they're not.
It's not like Social Security or Medicare. It's a program, not a promise.
Exactly.
Here's the thing. The government doesn't owe you free groceries. Food stamps...
And to add on to the point of this AI, which I'm not a huge fan of, but whatever, I would even argue Social Security and everything else is not a promise. It's not guaranteed that you're going to get it, which is why I keep telling everyone, prepare now. While you're still young. Invest, save money, throw extra money into other accounts. You know, even if you don't tell me you can't afford it. You can't do $5-10 a day. You can't afford it. You're just choosing not to make the sacrifice. And if that's fine, if you don't make the sacrifice and you don't invest in yourself, you're going to have no one to blame but yourself in the future. When you don't have enough money to retire and you only have $100,000 saved up and you can't live off that, because how are you going to live off that for 10, 15 years or more? You can't. Especially with inflation. You know what's proven time and time to beat inflation? The stock market. And it's not always guaranteed that your investments are going to produce. So that's why you invest and diversify your funds. Go invest it into a CD, into an index fund, into dividend-paying assets, into stocks. You do multiple different stocks. So that way, you're not putting all of your eggs in one basket, and you're more likely to have a chance of success. But doing something is better than doing nothing, you know?
Were created to help people during hard times, not to fund a permanent lifestyle. But some folks act like EBT cards are birthrights.
Exactly.
Newsflash, when the government shuts down, so does your free lunch. And now everyone's online talking about how unfair it is.
Mm-hmm.
Unfair? No. What's unfair is the taxpayers who work every day, watching their checks get smaller just to fund someone else's grocery bill, and then get blamed when the benefits stop.
They have kids.
That's the real scam. It's wild how people scream, the system is broken, when the free stuff stops coming in.
Mm-hmm.
No, the system isn't broken. It's just finally telling you to stand on your own 2 feet. The party's over. Time to clock in. So
exactly.
Yeah, until the government turns the lights back on, those food stamps aren't coming. And that's a reminder that self-reliance beats dependency every single time. Stop waiting for the government to feed you. They can barely feed themselves.
I honestly find it mind-boggling that a woman would come onto this app, post a video, and say that if her food stamps don't go through for November, she was going to start going into the grocery stores, filling up her cart, acting like she's
Well,
checking out, put all her stuff in bags,
I didn't see
and
that
steal the
sometimes.
food, and
I
just
don't want my
walk out with
some
the cart.
some people use their
What kind
to
of a
fund
loser
drugs.
do you
I don't
have
want
to
my.
be to
Is that what you said?
do
I
that?
didn't get to see it. It went up.
Like, you don't want to work harder for your kids so your kids have what they need. You don't want to go get a job or a second job or whatever so your kids have what they need.
Yeah, this is crazy. Resorting
It's
to.
selfish. And then on
I agree. Resorting to what this lady's saying is some people are resorting to threatening to steal from stores if they don't get their way. That is very selfish. Like, again, go find a job, part-time job. There's plenty of them out there. Just go apply for a job. Any fast food job will generally hire people. Hey, I just want to work part-time. Oh, that makes sense. Shade food stands for, yeah. That's pretty messed up. But yeah, I'm sure that happens. And yeah, I mean, this is why the current administration is cracking down on this stuff, is because it's been going on for too long. For too long, people have been utilizing food stamps as a lifestyle instead of getting out of poverty. They're just sitting there and going, well, hey, I've got all my needs taken care of. I'm just going to go have 12 kids and get more food stamps because now I need more money. And it's way too much. Like, I've seen people get $4,000 a month to feed like 8 kids. You don't need $4,000 to feed 8 kids. That's ridiculous. Like, that is way too much. I just don't think the government should be in charge of divvying funds for people in need, you know. I think it should be like community elected representatives in your local area where they can go and look at it and go, oh, you're not working, this isn't happening, okay, well, we'll help you, but you're only getting $800 a month for 7 kids. Well, I can't feed my kids Lunchables. They don't need Lunchables. Go get some bread and peanut butter and jelly, and they can have PB&Js. That's $2 a sandwich. You know, you don't, when you're dependent on someone else's money, you don't have the right to be entitled and act like you deserve 5-star meals, and that pisses me off. You know, it really pisses me off when people act like they're entitled to other people's money. But that's just what I would do if I was commander-in-chief. You know, I'd be like, hey, you need to work at least 15 hours a week. We're not having government divert these funds anymore. It's going to be your local state, and they're going to decide how much you get. And they're going to want proof of income. If you don't have income, then you're getting less, you know. If you have income, you'll get more. I think that's fair. Because that's going to incentivize people to actually keep a damn job. Not sit on their butt all day and do nothing. I don't get food stamps. I don't believe in that crap. That crap pisses me off. I almost said that. I almost swore. It really pisses me off. You know, and I think a lot of taxpayers are sick and tired of this bull crap. People that sit on their butts all day, collect food stamps, and just sit and pop out kids and do nothing with their life except pop out kids. That's not right. It's wrong.
Top of it,
you know?
If you get arrested and go to jail, your kids could get taken away from you, and then they're not going to have a mom around.
Yeah, that too.
Like, to me, that doesn't... It makes zero sense. And if you're going to do something like that, why are you posting about it on the internet?
Right.
It's like,
why
it's
tell
like,
people you're going to commit a crime? That's stupid.
I'm the one who said I was going to do this.
Hey.
You think people
arrest
aren't going to be, like,
might as well
looking
say
out
that.
for you in the grocery stores?
Mm-hmm.
When your face is plastered all over now because everybody has been downloading your video and responding to it and reacting to it?
Yup.
What a loser.
Then she will go to jail. Stores are already aware that this will happen.
Yeah.
They will ramp up security. A lot
Stores
of people
aren't
feel
stupid.
entitled to what others have worked for. That is people who think the world owes them something. I've got news. The world don't owe you a damn thing. Get a job.
So let me get this right. Y'all don't want us on food stamps, right? Y'all prefer us to work. But in this economy...
Let me answer that. Yes. Get a job. You can get a part-time job. No one's telling you to go work 15 hours a day in the salt mines and kill yourself. Get a job. Go volunteer. Go do something.
Even people that's working need food stamps. And the saddest part about it is that a lot of these jobs...
That's not true. And even if it is, show me the statistics. Who's working that needs food stamps?
Jobs not even hiring to be...
You're just saying stuff without actually backing it up with actual relevant real-world data. So, I don't believe you.
So people that's on food stamps, a lot of them not even choosing to be...
Alright, you know what? Let's do this. I will do the research myself. Let's go look. how many people in the United States that are working are currently on food stamps? Approximately 15.7 million workers. Okay, they're working. So, you're working. At least you're doing something. It sucks that you have to be on food stamps, but at least you're doing something. How many people in the United States that are not working are currently on food stamps? Over 27 million. Let that sink in. That's double. And this is just a quick Google search. You mean to tell me that 27 million people are disabled and can't work? Really? Like, literally can't walk? Or have some sort of physical or mental impairment where they cannot work? I don't believe that. I believe that I think the more realistic number is 8 million, maybe 2 to 3% of the US population literally cannot work because they can't walk, or they can't they just have an issue in their brain that they can't function. If you can't function in society, you can't work. But that's insane. Over 27 million. This is just an estimate. That's what we're talking about. If you're working, great. You need help. I don't think any taxpayer in the world is saying shame on you for having SNAP. We get it. I don't shame people who are working that are on SNAP. I think that's great that they are reaching out for help, because if you need help, you need help. There's no shame in needing help. There is shame in taking advantage of that help when you're not doing anything to better yourself. These people who are working are bettering themselves. They're working. That's good. That's all taxpayers want. They just want you to work. Do something. You can work 15 hours a week. It's really not hard. I work 20 hours a week at Amazon. And I'm not on SNAP. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not trying to tell you you're a terrible person. I'm just saying you can do it. I believe in you. That's all. But anyway, let's keep going.
Food stamps. These jobs not even hiring like they should be. The job market is trash.
That's not an excuse to sit on your butt and do nothing. Go hustle. Go do something. What are you good at? I'm currently doing a side hustle where I'm going to be replacing PS5 controller joysticks with Hall effect joysticks. If you guys are interested, hit me up in the comments. It's currently only for Utah residents because I don't have a shipping, situation set up yet. But if it becomes big, and I'm gonna do it for $30, and I'm not even making profit. If you go look on Amazon, a soldering kit's about $15. Soldering wire is another $15. So I'm not even making a profit. I'm doing it because I love doing it, and it's giving me experience. But if I make it a US thing where people ship me their controllers and I do it, I might have to charge more because I have to cover the shipping costs. I have to cover the materials. I have to cover my labor. But it might only be like $50-$60. But, some people might not think that's worth it. Some people might think that's worth it. They might go, oh, wow, I'll spend $60 to get an upgrade versus $80 every year to get a new controller. I don't know about you guys, but I've had to replace a PS5 controller every year since I've had it because of this stupid drift. It's always this left stick. It always, for me, moves. It goes, But, I'm doing something. I'm doing something I love, and you know what? If I don't succeed, hey, I tried. Just try. Just try. I'm on YouTube. I'm not making a ton of views. I mean, you look at all my videos I've done. I've probably done over 100 videos, but I'm doing the React videos because a lot of people watch these. I pay attention to my studio. I go, okay, people like what I say. I guess people are watching it. let's keep doing it. Well, anyways, let's keep going.
And a lot of y'all in the comments like, well, you shouldn't need food stamps. Y'all don't get this by now. We in a whole new world today, baby. Even a person making.
Well, it depends on who you are, right? If you're, for example, miss, you're wearing $100 sunglasses and a Chanel bag and, designer clothes, I don't think you need food stamps. If you're telling me you need food stamps, then, and you're wearing luxury things, you got your priorities mixed up. Stop buying that crap, first off, if you can't afford it. Because that's what that tells me is, I need food stamps because I can't fund my lifestyle. Why do you need a Chanel bag? Why do you need...
Up to 100K a year could use some food stamps right
No.
Right now. You get what I'm saying? And when you get to a point where...
Food stamps are for people who need it, not for people who are making 100K a year. I don't agree with that.
You're taking food out of people's mouths, it can get dangerous. People are going to start taking it. Do you hear me? People are going to start taking that food. They're not going in there asking no. They're going to start taking that food. Why? Because...
Okay, and if you do that, you go to jail. So if you want to steal, go steal. But you don't get to choose the consequences of your actions.
We have to eat. We have to eat. Point blank, period. People die if they don't eat. What do you mean?
You're right. People do die if they don't eat. But you know what? You know what I do? I make $1,400 a month. You know what I eat? I eat tuna. I eat peanut butter and jellies. I go get bread. I go get meats when they're on sale. You can get a whole family pack of pork for $20. There are ways to have cheap food without breaking the bank. You can spend $150 a month on cheap food and spend $2 a day on food. That's like for the whole thing, right? Or $5 a day. Even do $5 a day. Let's say you live in a high cost of area. There is a way to do it. You're just not doing it. And that's not the public's fault. That's your fault. You need to be responsible for your own financial situation. And you need to be aware of what you can and cannot do. If you're not aware of what you can do, that's not the taxpayer's problem. That's your problem. You.
It's crazy for people to say they're going to walk in the store and just take the food. What else are they going to do? Because let's be real about it. These jobs don't even pay people enough to even survive regardless. Then when we try to use the food stamps that's put in place.
That's because you don't understand the system, ma'am. The system has never been designed to pay you a living wage.
For people that's struggling, that'd be the first thing they try to take away. You get what I'm saying? They think it's a game and it's nothing funny about it. So when these motherfuckers start walking in these stores and taking what they need for dinner for their families and their kids, I don't want to hear shit. Because it's
not about what you need. I mean, let me take that back. It's not need, it's want. You want a steak dinner. You want a Lunchables. You want a Chanel bag. You don't need a Chanel bag. You're getting wants and needs completely mixed up. You need food, yes. You need shelter, yes. But you don't need steak dinners. You don't need a $1 million home. You don't need a Chanel bag. You don't need a Bugatti. You see my point here? You don't need luxuries, and you can't have them if you can't afford them.
The lose-lose situation regardless, with the 9 to 5, without
Get a job. Live within your means. Go buy some bread and make yourself some damn tuna sandwiches. It doesn't cost that much. Here, you know what? I'll provide another. How much does bread cost on average in the United States? So meaning this is an average price of bread. The average cost to pound of white pan bread is about $1.95, while whole wheat is $2.67. You're telling me you can't afford $1.95 for bread. Okay, let's say you live in New York. $3? $3 for bread, right? But people in New York also get paid more, alright? How much is the average cost of canned tuna in the United States? I live in Utah, and in Utah you can find canned tuna for about 87 cents, maybe $1. The average can costs $1 to $4 a can. So let's say it's $2 then. We'll meet in the middle there. You're telling me you can't afford a budget of $50, $100 a month, right? And you can get similar things. You can make yourself some tuna sandwiches. You can make yourself some PB&Js. You can make yourself some top ramen. This is what you got to do when you're struggling and when you're trying to make it in the world. You got to make some sacrifices. Okay, you don't make the money to get a steak. You got to live in reality now, okay? You're living in Delulu land. You're delusional if you think you can afford steak on a $10,000, you know, on a $500 a week salary or a bi-weekly salary. You can't afford it. And you know what? You might say I'm being cruel here, but I know I'm not being cruel. This is what you need to hear. A real friend will tell you what you need to hear to better yourself, not what you want to hear.
Let's keep going. You can work in 2 jobs and still struggling. People with jobs need food stamps. People that's on food stamps without a job can't get a job because the job market sucks. And even if they do have a job, they still can't fucking afford food. So y'all that's judging in the comments, something, well, why would you steal? People need to feed their families. Point blank, period. Bye.
So this
point blank, period. Bye. Yeah, again, here you are with material things. So I really, you know, I don't take you seriously when you're sitting here trying to justify wrong actions and stealing while you're wearing all this designer crap.
This woman is literally saying that people judging others for being mad about food stamps don't understand that the...
And to be fair, the people who are judging and upset are probably the ones paying for your lifestyle. I think they have a right to be upset if they're paying for your way.
Job market is trash,
just saying,
and that it's not enough to feed your kids. And according to her, people need to feed their families. So basically, stealing is fine now? Oh, okay. Here's the thing. Everyone's struggling right now. But some of us get up, go to work, and make it happen. You don't get a moral pass to take what isn't yours because life is hard.
Exactly.
Life's been hard since forever. But responsibility didn't suddenly go out of style. What's wild is how she's trying to guilt-trip people for calling out entitlement.
It's true.
Oh, don't judge. No, accountability isn't judgment. It's reality.
Yeah. If no one's judging you. Judging would be like, oh, wow, you're poor because you're on food stamps. People are holding you accountable. There is a difference. When you're on food stamps and you're getting upset because you can't... I honestly think they're too lenient. That's just me, though. I think getting a gallon of milk is ridiculous. You can have a half a gallon. You can have a lot less for your food stamps. Because it's taxpayer funded. You're not paying it with your money. You're paying it with other people's money. You know? That's the problem with these programs, is everyone knows it's not their money. Why should they care what they spend it on, right? So that's why you need to start changing it and structuring it. This is how I'd structure it. If you're not on income, you have $500 a month that you get to spend on groceries. Well, that's not enough. Well, then get a job. Get a job. If you get a job, we'll give you more. And this is the requirement. You need to work at least 15 hours a week. There you go. You immediately see people going to get jobs. Oh, okay, well, I need more money. I'm going to go get a part-time job. And, okay, we're going to give you $1,000 a month now. And then let's say you're making $600 a month. $600 every 2 weeks, right? So that's $300 a week. I think that's probably doable with a part-time job, $300 every week, right? So $600. So you're making $1,200 a month with your part-time job plus $1,000. That's $2,200 a month. And I'm talking about my local state here, right? So let me explain my logic here. I don't know about other states, but it would need to be adjusted depending on cost of living. But what is the average cost of living in Salt Lake City, Utah? Average cost of living. So monthly cost about $2,605. That's for all right. What's the average cost of living? Let's put what is the average cost of living in Salt Lake City, Utah, if you... I'm trying to think of how I should word this. If you... And to me, you shouldn't have a car if you're struggling, because that's just extra expenses. Again, I'm saying this for people in Utah because the public transport system in Utah is really good, so you can get away with using public transit. Find a job that uses that and just be like, oh yeah, I just take public transit. I can get to work on time. You know, what is the average cost of living in Salt Lake City if you decide not to have a car? Yeah, if you decide to not own a car, yeah. Wait, what? Average? That's not what I was asking. Alright, whatever. Let's just do average cost of living in Salt Lake City, Utah. $2,658 for a single person. So, what's the average? Let's say, what's the average cost? So, let me pull out my calculator because we're gonna do some math here, right? 2,658, right? I'll show it to you guys so you guys know, right? 2,658. What is the average cost of living? What is the average cost? What is the average car payment in Salt Lake City, Utah? There's no Pacific. Now, the new average is 745, around 529. So, let's just say it's 650, which that's effing insane. I'll meet in the middle there. Take 650 away. So now you don't have to pay that. And then what's the average car insurance rate in Utah? Let's do that. Car insurance costs per month in Salt Lake City, Utah. Right? It's not going to say. I'm just going to go off of my personal costs. I usually pay anywhere, depending on the car, right? Depends on the car. You're probably going to pay anywhere from 150 to 280. So let's just say 250, right? All right, let's do like 200. I think that's fair. 200. There's $1,800 now. That's all you need to live off of. So you make $1,200 a month on your food, right? For your part-time job, and you're also getting $1,000 a month for your you can afford your life. You know, there's no excuse. Like, you could afford that if you live in Utah. Don't know about any other state, right? Some states don't have good transit. I get it, you know. But I'm talking about, again, people in Utah who live in Utah. You could afford that. So there you go. I found a way for you to afford your lifestyle without a car. You need to start cutting things out of your life that you can't afford. If you can't afford a car, you can't afford a car. There's no shame in it. I'm not shaming you. I get it. But start using the public transit if you live in Utah. Save some money. Go buy like a beater, an $800, $2,000 car. Learn a skill. Learn how to take out a car. Do your oil changes. You can look on how to do that on YouTube. You know, learn how to do your oil changes. Learn how to replace your wiper blades. Learn how to rotate your tires. This will save you money. You will save hundreds of dollars if you just learn how to do your own maintenance. You're gonna have to invest a couple of hundred to get the tools you need, but you'll be saving hundreds, if not thousands, down the road, right? So that's what I'd recommend. That's just me. That's what I would tell anyone that's struggling in Utah. If you're in Utah, you're struggling, that's what I'd recommend. But anyways, let's get back.
If your first solution to a problem is to blame the system instead of taking action, that's not survival.
Exactly.
That's surrender. And yes, the job market is tough, but people still manage to work too, even 3 jobs to make ends meet.
But I get it.
You don't get to claim it's hard as an excuse for bad decisions.
Exactly.
That's not empowerment. That's victimhood wrapped in laziness. At the end of the day, food stamps are supposed to help, not replace effort. If your whole plan falls apart because free benefits paused, then it's time for a new plan, not another protest. We need more people grinding, not more people whining.
The government talking about no food stamps November, or no food stamps because of the shutdown. No food stamps, no food stamps, no food stamps, no food stamps. So people can't go get food right now. People will not be able to go buy food anymore. People can't even sell food stamps, even though that's kind of what they trying to stop people from selling food stamps. But the thing is, people selling their food stamps to people that need food because nobody can afford food at this giving moment. So
That doesn't mean it's okay, just like he said.
Know what, governments? I don't know if y'all thought this out all the way. Maybe y'all did. Maybe y'all did. I don't know. But since y'all cutting everybody off of food stamps, y'all pausing food stamps, can't nobody buy no food. Guess what? Stealing.
Okay, why can't you buy food? Let's break this down, right? So she's saying no one can buy food. So that tells me right there you are dependent on the government to provide you food. That's your fault, not them. You should not be in the mindset of, oh, I'm going to depend on the taxpayer dollar to fund my lifestyle. Get a job. We are literally telling you the answer. Yeah, exactly. If people have to sell their food stamps to feed people, doesn't that mean that the food stamps aren't really working? And I'm pretty sure, and you just outed yourself. Way to go. Congratulations. Genius here. You just outed yourself because now they know, oh, okay, people are selling food stamps. That's not what food stamps are for. They're not to go feed other people. They're for you, to help you. So this is probably why they're putting in a work requirement. They're going, oh, well, we're only going to give food stamps to people who are actually working. Problem solved. Get a job. So next one is probably going to be the same thing, and we're going to tell them the same thing.
People got to get their food by all means.
Get a job.
They're going to be going into the Krogers,
the same thing. So
Walmarts.
Get prepared for me.
They're going to be going into the Sam's Clubs.
A lot.
They're going to be going into these markets, these food markets, and they're going to be stealing.
That's fine. They can go to jail. People are going to be going to jail
for not stealing electronics, not stealing clothes, not robbing people. People about to be going to jail for stealing groceries.
That doesn't mean it's okay. Again, this is what people do. They go, feel sympathy for me because I decided to rely on taxpayers' money, and now that I don't have it, I'm going to go commit crimes because I'm not getting my way. That's pretty much what that tells me right there. Instead of going
self-checkout,
like I said, instead of doing something you love doing and selling stuff, making some money, they're going, oh, I'm gonna go steal. So now grocery stores see this and they go, oh, well, we're gonna ramp up security. We're gonna put things behind we're gonna put things behind lock and key, and if you want it, we're gonna have to treat you like a criminal because unfortunately we don't know where you live and we don't want to take that risk and we don't want to lose hundreds of thousands of dollars to cater to you when you should have been in the mindset of I need to get a part-time job. Maybe I need to sell some things. Oh, look, I see something there in the background. Maybe that's yours? Maybe you could sell that and get some money to go buy some food. Wow. I'm just saying, if you're hungry, right? Go sell that. I don't know what that is. It looks like some sort of collector or a doll or something. Someone might buy that for 30, 50 bucks. I don't know. It might be worth a lot. I don't know. Could be worth 30 bucks. 30 bucks will get you some food. At least put food in your belly for the time being. You got a couch you're sitting on right there, you don't need to sit on a couch. Go sell that for 300 bucks and go buy yourself some groceries. People just don't want to make the sacrifices needed to do what they need to do to make it. I've had to sell couches. I've had to sell my computer. Because I've made dumb choices. I'm not blaming society for my choices. I blame me. I made some dumb financial choices. I decided to go buy a game console when I should have been paying my bills. I decided to go get that video game that I couldn't afford. And then guess what? I had to go sell it all because I had to pay the bills and I had to pay the rent and I had to feed myself. It's called priorities, You're prioritizing the wrong things. That's what I believe anyways.
It's about to get hit bad. I hope y'all know that.
But instead they wanna post on TikTok or whatever this is and say that they're victims when they're literally surrounded in luxury. They could sell some stuff and buy themselves some groceries. It's not the most elegant solution, but at least you're not starving. And you can always go buy a new couch when you're in a better position. I mean, heck, they sell cheap couches on Amazon for like $300.
No. We had honest people actually buying their food. Now them honest people about to turn fucking dishonest. Hope y'all hire more security.
It is not the government's responsibility, nor the taxpayers, to make sure you and your kids get fed.
Exactly.
Let's start there.
That's your responsibility.
Somewhere along the line, y'all got too comfortable.
This is why I don't have kids, because I know I can't afford it. And I would suggest anyone else who can't afford kids right now to not have them, because it is a responsibility that you're going to have to cover, not the government. And you're going to have to take care of that kid. You know, you're going to have to feed it. You're going to have to clothe it. You're going to have to give it health insurance. You're going to have to give it its shots. You're going to have to brush its teeth. You're going to have to wipe its butt until it can do all that on its own, right? A human life is not cheap to bring into this world. Plus the hospital bill. I'm sure the hospital will charge you like $50,000 to $150,000 to bring a life into the world. So, you know, it's... I always tell people, if you can't afford kids, you just should not have kids. Because unfortunately, it's just really expensive to raise a family now. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot... I would, you know, if I could afford it, I would do it, but I can't afford it, you know? I'm just being realistic here. Being real with you guys.
Thinking Uncle Sam was supposed to be your baby daddy and the rest of us were supposed to fund your lifestyle. Nope, that's not how real life works. You've become way too reliant on government assistance. Every time something doesn't go your way, it's, oh no, what am I going to do? Here's a thought. Get up off your butt and do something. Nobody's stopping you from getting a job, learning a skill, or finding a side hustle. What's stopping you is laziness and excuses. There's no shame in hustling. Sell some plates, bake some cookies, make some Rice Krispie treats, do something.
Yeah.
People have built businesses out of less. But you can't sit around scrolling on your phone all day waiting for EBT to reload and then cry when the benefits stop. That's not struggle, that's entitlement.
Exactly.
See, the real problem isn't the government or the system. It's the mindset. Too many people want handouts, but don't want hard work. You can't talk about independence while living off other people's tax dollars. That's not independence. That's dependence disguised as pride. At the end of the day, it's simple. You brought those kids into the world, not the government. You, not the taxpayers, have the responsibility to feed them. So stop looking for sympathy and start looking for solutions. Get up, grind, and take care of your business, like the rest of us do.
I just had to come on here and say some shit real quick, because I just seen a post on Facebook, like, you know, regarding the whole food stamps being stopped because of the government shutdown. I just seen a post, and it was like, shut the fuck up and use cash like we do.
What?
It's the bitches that get food stamps that don't still have to use cash in the room with us. Are they in the room with us?
What are
you
you
motherfuckers be tripping
about,
just
lady?
because somebody get food stamps and shit don't mean that we out here just living willy-nilly.
Okay, if I think I understand what this lady's saying, I think she's saying, I think she's responding to a comment of STFU and work like the rest of us. I agree with that comment if that's what they're saying.
Yeah, we just out here eating, and we just, no.
I mean...
But where y'all getting this shit from? Because at the end of the day, the food still costs the same, whether you have food stamps or you don't.
Someone's
feeding you. Don't get
you.
it fucked up. I love mine. I love my stamps. I love my stamps, and I hope that this is just a scare tactic. You know, just Trump on one of his bullshits. Give us some Jones. I ain't gonna lie, give us some Jones. But at the end of the day,
you look able-bodied to me. All you gotta do is go prove that you're working 15 hours a week and you'll get your stamps. I don't know what this is so difficult. Why this is so hard.
And I still have to take $300 to $400 in cash a month to the market. Sometimes even more than that. God forbid.
Yeah, okay. What's the problem? I don't see anything wrong with that. Food stamps is not meant to fund your lifestyle.
It's one of my kids' birthday months.
Okay, if it's your kid's birthday, shouldn't that motivate you to want to work more, like, work harder to give them a good birthday? Like, or if you don't want to do that, you say, you know what, baby, I'm so sorry I couldn't get you that present, but we couldn't afford it this month. But hey, I got you a birthday cake and I got you, some balloons. Happy birthday. Like, I didn't get no presents when I was a kid. I got a birthday cake and ice cream and I was happy. Man.
I really be having it fucked up, like in this whole like stigma behind like
who doesn't like cake and ice cream as a kid?
Because God forbid, you a bitch that want food stamps and a job. God forbid.
No one is saying. Oh my god. Who is saying that? What?
God forbid. You a bitch that want food stamps and you want to actually do something with yourself.
Okay, no one's shaming you for that. No. Jesus. It's like, okay. Again, ma'am, let me explain this to you. If you work 15 hours a week, you can have food stamps. Why do you care what other people say about you? If you're doing what you need to do, let it go. Let it fly in the wind. If you're working, which I'm assuming you are, sounds like you are, depending, and you're on food stamps, no shame. Sometimes we need a little help. I'm not shaming you for that. I'm sorry that other people have. I don't agree with that. I don't think we should shame other people for needing help. But unfortunately, we just have a-holes in the world. You just gotta, dust it off. Move on.
They're taking them. They're taking the child care. They're taking the food stamps. Shut the fuck up.
The child care.
Y'all really gotta stop this war on, like, single moms just trying to make a way, dealing.
Well, I mean, now we're diving into a completely different topic. You being a single mom, why are you single? What happened there? And if you're needing food stamps because of that, I can see people having those grievances. It is not the taxpayer's job to raise your children. But if you're working, okay. Me personally, if you're working, okay. You need the help. But the point that I think a lot of taxpayers are trying to make is we should not be enabling the culture of women to get pregnant, have children, and then not have the father in the life when that person who got you in that situation should be taking care of the kid.
What the fucking...
But the thing that I think I see a lot of is women go after the fathers. The government goes, oh, well, he's only going to pay this much, but we'll pay you more. And they go, well, I'll take the deal. Thanks. And they get married to the government and not the father. And then the father can't be in the life.
As we're dealt with, and just doing what we can do. Even if that means having to go get government assistance, food stamps, whatever it's looking like for you, medical, like, y'all gotta stop this war on us. Like, y'all gotta stop. How did the government being shut down something that's going to affect everybody, from the recipients to the workers? It's going to affect everybody. How did it just trickle down to single moms on food stamps getting the backlash? I'll go spend cash like we all do.
No one's shaming.
I'm looking for the bitches that get food stamps and don't have to still spend cash. Because at the end of the day, whether it's food stamps or cash, that fucking carton of eggs gonna still be $80. So whether it's $80 in cash or it's $80 in food stamps.
Who's paying $80 for a carton of eggs? Bro. That is way too much.
It's still going to be $80. They're not charging us less money because we got food stamps.
I think you're over-exaggerating unless you can show me an $80 price tag for... is she talking about a carton, like 18 eggs or 12 eggs? Because if that's $80 for 12 eggs,
what the fuck is wrong with
y'all? What are you buying? Like,
what the
you go
fuck is wrong with y'all?
You go into Whole Foods or something? That's a lot of money for eggs. We're not getting context. That's the thing I'm trying to say, because context does matter.
I'm taking a whole fucking check to Aldi's once a month. Once a month.
I get it. She's upset, She's frustrated. I get it, but...
I done got my food stamps. And yes, I know how to shop.
It's just ranting.
No, I don't let my kids just run through the food. But the reality is, motherfuckers still gotta eat. It's 5 miles in this bitch.
What?
So regardless of if I got more food stamps or not, I'ma fill this bitch up. I'm gonna fill that bitch up. Food stamps or no food stamps.
This is the problem, is there's people who aren't on food stamps that don't qualify, that don't fill up their fridge, that can't because they can't afford it, then they don't qualify for food stamps. What about those people? that are still struggling, that would like food stamps, but they can't because, the program says, oh, well, you make too much money. They don't complain. They don't go to TikTok, They don't go to social media and do this. You're doing it, and you're on food stamps, So that's why people are going, wow, this is kind of entitled, You're being a little entitled by getting upset because you're not getting extra help when there's other people that are not getting the help that are making it work. That's I think, the grievance here. Now, could they have worded that better? For sure. I agree. But, we as a species, we as human beings, we tend to get very into our emotions, and we just word vomit when we're really mad, right? I've done it. I'm guilty of it, and I'm working on it. But you need to be aware of that, right? Can't let your emotions, as Master Yoda once says, emotions is the path to the dark side. I don't know, something like that. Let's
y'all talking about, y'all keep thinking we just get it so easy. Like I said, God forbid you a bitch that got some food stamps and you still want a job and you still want to go out there and make a way for yourself. Then they taking the food stamps, they taking the child care. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Y'all gotta really know what y'all talk about when y'all talking, bro. If you don't got nobody that's gonna sell you some, just say that with your mad ass. With your mad ass. Your mad ass. And I can sit here and honestly say that my personal goal for myself is to one day not even be. I'm such at a different level that I don't even qualify for this shit. That's my goal. That's my own personal goal. But until then, bitch, I'm thugging. This shit's so fucking
crazy.
crazy.
I think that's a great goal, to not be on food
This
stamps.
This system is built to work against all of us. I just spent almost a month and a half with no childcare. Almost lost my job and everything. Almost lost my job and everything because I got a fucking promotion.
How do you lose your job for getting a promotion? I'm not getting
trying
this.
to better myself, trying to do more, and at the same time, it's things being stripped away from me. I don't got no help. So I cannot afford to lose my motherfucking childcare. The fuck? If you don't want to sit around at a welfare fucking program for the rest of your fucking life, you trying to really make money, go get jobs, and trying to, like, really make something out of yourself, they gonna give us a hard fucking time, yo. They're gonna give you a hard time.
Well, I'll tell you one thing that definitely set you back was having kids when you weren't ready for them. Now you have an extra mouth to feed, more income you have to make. I mean, again, I'm good on you that you're doing what you need to do. I ain't shaming, but I'm just saying, bad choices, poor choices have consequences. And I'm not saying that your kid is a mistake, right? Not at all what I'm saying. But if you have kids that you aren't ready for, this is the situation you put yourself in, right? That's like going to a bar and then getting mad that you came home drunk. Well, why are you going to the bar then if you don't want to be drunk? Don't put yourself in that situation, That's all I'm saying. But anyway, let's keep going.
You'll be better off with welfare sitting around not doing shit. And everybody knows that, but somehow it's still a war on single moms. It's still us. We're always the laughing stock. When this shit built to go against all of us. Well, you got food stamps or not?
I mean, I get your grievance, ma'am. But, again, where's the father? And I don't believe that every father, every man that you've chosen is abusive and manipulative. I hear that so much with single moms. Oh, he was abusive. He was manipulative. Okay. Let's just say that hypothetically here. Let's say every single mom in the world has ever dated is just terrible, right? This terrible person. He's an abuser. He treats her like crap, and the child is in danger, right? And I'm just taking a thread off my shirt, right? Let's just say that is the case, and that has been proven beyond the shadow of a doubt, right? Well, I'll be very fair and generous to this young woman, this young single mom. What does that tell about your vetting process? About who you choose to be around you? Just something to think about.
See, here's the truth nobody wants to hear. You weren't dealt those cards, you drew them. Every single one. You saw exactly what you were picking up, and now you want the world to feel sorry for you because you don't like your hand. Sorry, life doesn't work like that. You made those choices one by one. Instead of being responsible and saying, okay, I have one child, let me get my education right, let me learn a trade, let me set myself up, you decided to turn government assistance into a lifestyle. Not a helping hand, a home plan.
Yeah.
You used those services like a lifelong subscription, not a temporary boost. That's the issue. Now you're sitting there with 3, 4, 5 kids, pulling $800 a month in food stamps, and wondering why you can't get ahead. The math is mathing. You made it that way. You chose the easy path when it came time to make the hard decisions. That's not bad luck. That's bad planning. And don't get me wrong. Nobody's bashing people who work and still get help.
Exactly.
That's common. Life hits hard sometimes, and there's no shame in temporary support.
Yeah, and to add to men only, I'm not bashing people who need the help and work. No shame, I agree. There is no shame in that. I'm not hating on anyone who is in that situation. Not at all. I get it. I get it. We all need help sometimes. We all struggle. But again, just like what men only says, if you put yourself in that situation, right? You make those choices. It's not really, it's kind of hard for me personally, just me, can't speak for anyone else, but for me personally to really feel bad for you. You know, my analogy is, oh, I went to a bar and got drunk, feel bad for me. Well, why were you going to the bar in the first place? Oh, well, I just wanted to say hi to people. I have some friends there. Okay, well, you didn't have to drink, but you chose to. Well, I wanted to fit in, and, Okay, well, again, it's kind of hard for me to sympathize with you when you're putting yourself in that situation. That's just me. Just me.
The shame comes when you treat that support like a career choice. It's not supposed to be your safety net for 18 years straight. At the end of the day, those cards were face up. You saw every consequence before you played them. But accountability isn't trendy,
I kind of
right?
like how she
It's
looks like
easier
she's
to
dancing
blame
to a
the
song.
system than admit you built your own struggle. You want change? Stop drawing from the same deck.
And I just want to come on here and say to you people that be standing in front of the stores and the Good Samaritans and all of that, when November 1st come, and if they don't uplift this shutdown for these SNAP benefits, I'm going to need y'all to mind y'all business. Please mind y'all business. Those people, they trying to feed their kids, and they trying to go home and just feed their kids.
If you're on SNAP, if you're on taxpayer income, it becomes their business.
And I would...
End of story.
I would hate for you
End of
to
story.
not be able to make it back to your family, and for you to not be able to make it back home because you trying to save these billionaire companies.
What?
You hear me? Of their funds when they actually
Okay,
have
anyways,
insurance on
woman basically saying, none of your business what I do with your money, but it is. Moving on.
box of mac. Don't get these come. I've been in
If you want to watch the
before.
full video, watch the full video. I'll leave it in the description.
What'd you do? Did you stock up on pantry items?
Is she eating food and talking about food stamps? No.
And try to shop
No.
smartly? Or did you just go buy a bunch
No.
of processed garbage?
Oh my gosh.
By the way,
That
you can thank the
is so
Democrats
rude.
for the government being shut down and your benefits not coming through for November. Looks like you're going to be going to the food pantry for your Thanksgiving
Oh
meal.
my gosh.
I know a lot of food pantries hand out turkeys for Thanksgiving. All the sides and trimmings too. Lots of food pantries.
That's so freaking.
You better figure it out.
Oh
I'm
my
sick of hearing you
gosh.
complain, honestly. You ever have this?
You're on food stamps. Starts eating food. Oh my gosh. If you don't think that's funny, think about it. The irony in that is hilarious. I'm just saying.
As a meal, I'm eating peanut butter and butter on toast. It's absolutely delicious. You should try it. And not for nothing, I saw this woman
Yeah,
that
peanut butter
said
and
she
toast
was
is
getting
good.
$1,100 a month in food stamps. Do you know how long I could make $1,100
That's too much.
in food stamps last? in this house. There's 2 of us, but I do have my son over every once in a while, or my daughters over once in a while to eat. I feed them too, and we always got food in our house, no matter what. I would take a 3rd job. I have 2 jobs. I would take a 3rd job if I had to, just to make sure my kids ate. What are you doing for your kids besides coming on the internet and bitching that you don't have any money in your food stamps account?
All right, so a few things.
Oh,
Did
man.
your mother ever tell you that it is bad manners to talk with your mouth full? Yeah.
So the lady doesn't have a response. She's just going on personal attacks. Oh, it's bad manners to have your mouth full. Like, come on, lady. Respond to her question.
Because I know that my mom...
Okay, next. I don't want to hear it.
This is what I don't understand.
What do you not understand?
What happened to America First?
What are you talking about?
That's all you have been saying forever is America First. Why is it that you...
Okay, we just saw a response. Did you guys see anything about America First?
You have so much disdain to help...
Cause see, this is what we call denying reality, where she knows that the lady is right, but she still insists. Don't you have any compassion? Why? I just let me complain.
Helping your fellow Americans. Do you...
What? I've already beaten this subject like a dead horse, so I'm just gonna move on.
That this is going to refit...
Next.
A lot. The Republicans control everything.
Okay, next.
And her husband makes less than me supporting them as a freelance artist. Just told me that she is not getting any food stamps because of the government shutdown. And also could have cancer.
Live within your means. I'm so sorry that she has cancer. Well, could. If she has cancer, I do. That sucks. You know? Again, that having cancer is not a very common thing. So, again, I think if you can prove that you have cancer and that's impacting your life and your ability to work, that counts as a disability. Just wanted to let you know. So therefore, you don't have to work and you would get food stamps. Free real estate for you.
Just texted me that it's...
Next.
I haven't been on food stamps in about almost 4 years or so.
Congratulations. I'm proud of you. That's great.
So, and that's because I live in the state of California, and my income with my 3 children is too high.
Impressive.
I don't qualify.
Okay. You don't qualify. Okay.
I make about 6 figures or so, but in the state of California.
What? You make 6 figures? Please, before I go, I hope. Please don't tell me you wish you're on food stamps making 6 figures. Please. I hope I'm wrong. Please. I want to be wrong. Please. Let me be wrong.
Yeah. 6 figures is considered on the lower end of income. Yeah, I know.
She's really leaning into this. Don't. No. You're doing
right
great.
now. I really feel really bad, and I feel very sorry for the families who are going to be losing these services. Next month. The ones who truly depend on these services, and not just women and children.
Right.
That needs to be fed, but think of our elderly people who's on a fixed income.
Again, ma'am, they have said if you are able-bodied and can work, you must work. If you cannot work, you will still get food stamps. Oh my gosh. Why is this so hard for people to understand? I mean, yes, the government being shut down means they're not going to get it, but again, they should be saving for retirement. The government is not ever going to take care of you. Friendly, free advice that is truth and harsh, I'm sorry, but it is the truth. You cannot rely on Uncle Sam, because if they end up spending all of the money that they were supposed to give to help you, you're kind of in a bad spot. Just saying.
Depend on food stamps to really buy their food because their fixed income pays all of their bills.
Oh, what was this? Something, it's called fear-mongering. They're preying on people to evoke an emotional response. If you apply logic, it shuts them down immediately.
Imagine how these...
and I haven't really touched on the whole government shutdown. Yeah, that's why I always tell people they should prepare. Because history is a great teacher, because the government never changes. And they've done this how many times? Didn't you have a government shutdown in 2008? Weren't people not getting food stamps then? When do they have another shutdown? Let's look into this. Let's do a little
people.
How many shutdowns? How many shutdowns has the United States government had? Google. Government shutdown is now the second longest. So this happened since 1977. There have been 21 federal government shutdowns. Oh, and this is let's go look at some other ones. Wikipedia. Since 1991, there have been 4, so there's a few different ones. How much? What's this Knoxville's News Sentinel? Is there really been a shutdown? How many? Oh, they want me to subscribe. Can I just not? Okay, well, if that's true, if there have been 21 federal shutdowns, what does that tell you? Oh, let's just say there's only been 4. Just having 1 is too many. I would think that, you know, if you were a logic sound mind and the government shut down, you would maybe tell people, hey, government's not the most reliable person to be depending on. I think I'm just gonna make some money so I can afford to feed myself. And just in case everything hits the fan, I'll have a budget of X amount so I can afford all my favorite foods. Oh, I don't need much. I can eat tuna sandwiches. I can eat peanut butter and jelly. Oh, I can make myself some cereal. You know, milk only costs $4 or $5, you know, whatever. Milk isn't that much. I'll make it work. Nope, that's not what they do. They go, oh, I don't have benefits. I'm angry. Time to protest, time to steal. This is what these people are doing. Wrong one. There we go.
You know, 65 and older.
I will be doing another video on that one, but you know,
feel right now as well. I will say, ladies and gentlemen, if you rely on...
I'm just saying, the government's not the most reliable provider. If they're willing to shut down everything over and over and over and over again, that's not stable. That's not stability. If you want stability, the government is the worst person to go to.
And, you know, the food stamps, et cetera, to feed your kids, I will heavily suggest try to find you part-time work to supplement, a seasonal position to supplement whatever is going to happen between November and December, just to make do. Not that you have to be working hella hours a week. Do what works for you and what works for your family. But at this point,
do what works for you, do what works for your family.
We're learning that the U.S. government, you can't depend on them. You really can't depend on them. And I'm very happy to have gotten so used to, out of the mindset of needing food stamps, or you know, I got so unused to it, and I got so used to spending cash on food now, to where I know how to make do. I cook, so
good on you.
I know how to make meals that, you know, that last, you know, for my kids, and I know how to shop accordingly.
Good.
You know,
good.
And shop at places accordingly. And then, you know, I'm not into making crab boils and all that stuff on a regular basis. That stuff is like special occasion stuff. Yeah. Even on my income, I cannot be spending money on certain shit like that. I just can't. you know, but I just really hope that, you know, something happens, you know, before November comes. I just hope something happens within this week or so, that the House and the Senate will get their shit together and get services back going for people, because it's not just people suffering.
Okay, she's just hoping for people. I agree. I applaud this lady for not depending on the government, getting good income, knowing that having crab legs and lobster and steaks are just not a sustainable meal plan, and it's not going to help you. You can have it on occasion, on special occasions, but having it every day or every other day or all the time, for sure, Sounds like to me this lady knows her budget, knows what she can and cannot afford, and plans accordingly. That's great. I love to see it. I love to see people succeed, and best of luck to you. I wish nothing but the best for you. But let's keep going. We're already at an hour. I don't want to keep this dragging on any longer.
Not getting to eat.
Y'all got a crackhead in office making up rules and regulations. Wow. Try to blame other people for the shit that he doing. Bitch, I'm pissed. Think how I feel, bitch. I gotta spend money on my own motherfucking me groceries. How the people with the SNAP benefits gonna feel when they can't use their SNAP to get groceries? Bitch, I'm pissed. Yeah, I'm mad. I'm mad. All these motherfucking big-ass corporations, they taking money off of us, bitch. Fuck them. Fuck them. I'm not shopping at Kroger no more.
I usually don't touch on topics like this, but y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like the government in a whole is trying to use...
What is it with all these women and like these... Is this like a trend, a fashion thing?
Different scare tactics to see which one will work, because they don't have control of the people. They didn't have many people.
When we've been depending on these programs each month.
You just outed yourself. I've been depending on the program. Do not depend on the government. I've told people this. You want to be dependent on yourself, man. I know it's a hair cap, but it's like... Look at the video. Look at the video. Hair cap. Where's the other lady? Hair cap? Other lady? Is that a hair cap? If that's a hair cap, what is it? Is it just like a fashion trend? I don't know. I'm genuinely curious. Like, how many hair caps have I seen? Hair cap. Hair cap. And maybe it's just the black community thing. I don't know. Okay? I'm not gonna say I know. I don't know. Okay? I'm not trying to be a rude person.
We're gonna buy food for our families and our kids when we've been depending on these programs each month.
You've been depending. That's the problem.
You get a job and feed yourself like...
Stop. You need to reduce your dependence on the government as much as possible. You can get what I'd recommend anyone. I like green peppers, cucumbers, lettuce, and cabbage. You can grow those vegetables in any environment if you invest. Invest in a greenhouse. Invest into those seeds. Grow your own food. You can get a little greenhouse and do that, and most apartment places will let you do that. Go find an apartment or some place will let you do that. Grow your own food. You do that, you'll have meals for months. Months. Because food, costs 50, 75 cents to get seeds. Yeah, it takes time to grow it, but at least eventually you will be less dependent on corporations. You really don't want to be dependent on Uncle Sam and corporations. That's what you should be doing. Just saying. Anyways, I think that's pretty much the end of the video.
If you applied your...
But, I want to hear what you guys think, because I felt like I was pretty logical, but I want to know your guys' story, because we all have different stories, and I want to build a community here of what are you going through? Do you think, how would you do the food stamp system? Do you agree with me? Do you think people who work should get a little more, and then people who don't get less? Or would you have it done a different way? It's good to have conversations about this stuff, because I feel like that could be a better way to solve these problems. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. It's going to be up on YouTube. Like, subscribe. I do stream games as well, so if you guys want to watch me stream on Twitch, it's BloodMenor27. That's my Twitch handle. Peace.